Hi, I'm Riley McManus. Welcome to Word for Word, where we offer you an in-depth look at some of our interviews with newsmakers from across the region. You'll have the opportunity to hear word for word how they responded to the news of the day. Officials with Norwest Community Health Centers have issued a substance warning for street drug users in Thunder Bay. Norwest has special equipment at its Safe Supply program that can analyze drug samples to see what they truly contain. Norwest Director of Health Services Jennifer Lawrence says what they found last month was startling, especially with the samples of what users thought was cocaine.
I guess just the first general question off the top, obviously, we noticed it on Facebook, the alert went out. Tell me exactly what is it and what does that mean?
For sure. So we appreciate the interest. It's important information to get out to as many people as we can. Basically, we wanted to share what we were seeing from the results of our drug checking. And we definitely saw a very concerning trend in January where the majority of the cocaine samples checked didn't contain any cocaine at all. In fact, over 10% of those samples contained fentanyl or fentanyl only, and 55% of the cocaine sample, or what was thought to be cocaine that was checked that didn't contain any cocaine, many of those samples had fentanyl in them, which people who are using cocaine wouldn't be expecting to get in their supply at all.
And I was going to ask that next, build off that a little bit, because it's dangerous to use, but there's also the danger in not knowing what you are using. Can you speak more to that?
Yeah, for sure. I guess for people who are using drugs, especially recreationally, who may not be suspecting that they're going to get an opioid or a strong opioid like fentanyl in their cocaine, they wouldn't be prepared for what the signs and symptoms are to maybe even to respond to an overdose, because you wouldn't use naloxone with pure cocaine. However, if what you're getting is not pure cocaine or not cocaine at all, how an overdose would be managed would be entirely different.
And just for some background, is this testing, how did you go about this? Is this something that is a monthly endeavor for Norwest?
We have drug checking equipment in Path 525, so people can come in and check their drugs at any time. We do offer drug checking to the public who aren't using Path 525. They can come in on Thursday evenings if they like, between 6 and 8, just to check their drugs. We do have new equipment that requires a very minute sample of the drug, so people don't have to give up very much of what they have. And we will soon have an update to the equipment with the laser, so people don't actually have to give up any of their sample.
Okay, and I guess I just have one more question, really. You touched on everything I was looking at, but I just guess as a way to wrap it up, message to the community with this alert. You might reiterate yourself on some things, but feel free just a message to any users out there who see this and what exactly it means for them.
For sure. So I think it's really important to remember that the drug supply is very toxic and very variable, that you might not be getting what you think you've purchased, and that in fact you may need to be prepared to respond to an opioid overdose even if you don't think you've purchased an opioid. So making sure that you're not using alone, that you've got naloxone, you know what to do with naloxone, and that so do the people that you're with. And if someone is using alone, to really use that Lifeguard app and set the timer so that some EMS can respond if they do overdose.
Everything I was looking for. Anything you'd like to add on the topic?
Maybe just to make sure you're aware of what an opioid overdose would look like, and of where to get naloxone and how to use naloxone. There are lots of different places people can get naloxone. It's free. It doesn't expire. The coils in the nasal spray do expire, but even if you have one and it's expired, give it a try. The naloxone itself won't be expired. Know what to do and don't hesitate to help someone.
This past week, the province announced that $2.2 million was earmarked for Thunder Bay through the Municipal Gas Tax Program. This year's funding includes additional money to make up for reduced gas sales during the pandemic. Local MPP Kevin Holland is confident this will help the city.
The first question, obviously some provincial dollars coming to Thunder Bay. Before we get into the benefits, what we're receiving here, can you talk about what exactly is the municipal gas tax program for those who might not know?
Sure. The provincial gas tax program is given to communities that operate transit systems to help offset the cost and to the ability for them to invest in new infrastructure, new equipment, new vehicles. So that's the intent of the program, and it helps sustain the operations across the province.
And I guess building off that, I think it was 2.2 million coming to Thunder Bay. Talk about the benefits the community are going to feel from this and how usually those dollars are allocated, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, as you said, Thunder Bay will be receiving $2.2 million through the gas tax. And it should be noted that there was concerns expressed to the government with regards to, during COVID, the decrease in ridership or gas being purchased, because it's determined by the amount of liters are sold in your community as what your portion was. So the concern expressed by municipalities was that there was a loss in the consumption of gas. So the government has provided a one-time $80 million top-up across the province to help municipalities sustain their operations through following the pandemic. So the money is to be used for wages, operating costs, the purchase of new equipment, and it really helps our municipalities in order to maintain that ridership at an affordable price for the users.
Okay, and I think you touched upon it a little bit in that answer, but in terms of the province, how do they determine how maybe each municipality receives that certain amount of dollars that they are getting? For example, 2.2 million coming to Thunder Bay.
Yeah, so as I said, it's a formula that's used. They use to calculate what each community gets, and in part it's based on the amount of fuel that is sold in their community or in the area. That factors into determining what the total value is going to be coming to each community.
Okay. And how much can we say on it? But I guess my last one, just to wrap it up on this topic, benefits for the community receiving a tax like this.
Well, the benefits, again, is that it's going to help the city to maintain their operations and help keep those costs down for the users of the system. So, any money that's coming into the city is obviously a benefit. So, the city has used these funds in the past very effectively, and I have no doubts they're going to continue to make the most out of it.
Stay tuned. We'll have more Word for Word right after the break.
Covers like organ removal, slavery, servitude, and then it also, what we're going to cover a majority of, because that's what we're seeing a majority of in Thunder Bay, is the domestic sex trafficking that's happening, so the sexual exploitation of children.
And what are some of the warning signs?
I'd say some of the most alarming warning signs that are going to be the most obvious is you're going to see a sudden change in a young person's peer group. They might all of a sudden be, pulling back from extracurricular activities that they really once enjoyed. They'll potentially have another phone, their language is going to change. They're going to become a little bit more either really drawn into themselves, or they're going to become a little bit more aggressive with caregivers who are trying to implement some rules and maybe some expectations for them.
Importance of having an event like this?
Absolutely. The importance is that in order for people to know that human trafficking or child sexual exploitation is happening in our community is education. And I feel like this the coming together of service providers, the coalition, and parents and caregivers really gives teeth for us acknowledging that this is happening in our community and to work together to help solve this increasing issue. It is the fastest growing crime worldwide.
Can you talk about some of the resources that are here today?
Absolutely. So every resource here is part of the Thunder Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking. So we have our sexual assault, domestic violence nursing. We have Beandigin and Onwa, who are the co-chairs of the coalition, alongside myself at Thunder Bay Counseling. We have our Crown attorneys, we have Noki Wind Travel Council, we have Victim Services, we have E-Fry Society, and of course the Sexual Abuse Center. So really kind of the core people who are going to be here to assist young people and adults in exiting these horrific situations.
And are you hoping to make this an annual, I guess, meeting?
Yeah, so every year we host an event on February 22nd. We also hold another event on July 30th, which is the United Nations Day Against Trafficking in Persons. So yeah, we're really hoping that this will draw some attention, people will become interested, and they can reach out to the coalition at any time and request some training, say if there was an organization or a group of people who wanted to come together and learn more.
That was perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that if people are looking for more information, they can visit our website at humantraffickingthunderbay.ca or humantraffickingthunderbay.com.
Tonight's about human trafficking. It's Human Trafficking Awareness Day. So we're here tonight to put on a little conference for parents to get some information, right? To know the signs of what trafficking looks like in our city. Thunder Bay is a hub for human trafficking, so it's important that we get the information out.
And can you talk about what some of the signs are?
So some of the signs are, if your child is has a boyfriend that's a little bit older. It's not the common trafficker that people think. Say the trafficker could be 19 years old, right? So it's about buying things. Maybe they're having an extra phone. Maybe they're going out shopping. They're taking them shopping. Maybe they're splurging on some stuff for them, right? Dating them, and then that's when the exploitation can start, right? That now you owe them, right? You owe them for all the jewelry they bought or whatever else they've purchased for you.
Can you talk about the importance of having parents here at an event like this to learn stuff like this?
Having parents here is really important. Parents know their children, right? And so letting them know the signs, giving them information on what to look for and how to help, places to go. So there's a lot of tables here tonight, a lot of community resources for information on where you can go to get help for your child, who you can go and talk to, and options that are available for them, right? So having an event like this to bring awareness is always important.
And can you talk about some of the services and resources in the city?
So, of course, there's the Sexual Abuse Center that I represent. Then there's Thunder Bay Counseling Center, Thunder Bay and Area Victim Services. They're here, Beandigan, Nokiwin. So the coalition is made up of about 30 different agencies, right? We have our own coalition. Elizabeth Fry sits at the table. There's just Anwa sits at the table. There's a whole slew of agencies that are here to help, right? So making that call, visiting our website will give you some information that someone's looking for, and then they can just go from there, right? What agency can help with what they need at that time.
And if a parent does think their child might be going through something, what should they do?
Well, they should reach out to an agency, right? And have that chat with them. Is it possible? Is this what I'm seeing? And then having that talk with their child, right? Is this what's going on? And have those hard conversations, because they're not easy sometimes to have those conversations, right? And the child may not even know that that's what's happening to them.
That's all I really need to know. Thank you. I was going to ask, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I think, just bringing awareness to the issue in Thunder Bay is important, right? And we keep having these awareness days. We were at Intercity Mall today having an awareness day. It's just about bringing it into the forefront, right? It's something we need to talk about. We need our children to know, right? We need parents to know. So, yeah, just information is power.
Summit Church was packed for Grace Place's 9th annual Coldest Night of the Year walk fundraiser. The walk is not only a fundraiser for the organization, but it also gets attendees to realize what the homeless population has to deal with daily. Just over 300 walkers came out to walk 2 or 5 kilometers to help raise money for a good cause.
So can you talk a little bit about what the Coldest Night of the Year walk is?
Well, the Coldest Night of the Year walk is a 2 or a 5K walk. And it is to get people to realize what the homeless have to deal with every day, being out in the cold and no place to go and that sort of thing. So this is just a small taste of that sort of thing. And it is a it is Grace Place's largest fundraiser. This is our 9th year participating, and we use the funds to keep the heat and the lights on for Grace Place.
And how many people have already signed up for this walk?
Well, I just looked at the list, and we're at a little over 300 walkers, and we have 65 volunteers helping us out, and it's going to be a great day. We've already raised, our goal is 90,000, and we've already raised almost 82,000, so it's going to look, we're going to probably get close to that goal today.
And how great is it seeing everyone come out here and support this event year after year?
Well, it's wonderful to see all the people that have gone on board. This year our lead sponsor was Pearl Construction, and this is the 2nd year they've been participating. We have a number of businesses that are supporting us, but it's great to see the walkers, 300 plus walkers, raising funds for Grace Place. So it's really nice to see.
And can you talk a little bit about where the funds will be going for this year's walk?
Yes, the funds will be used for operating expenses at Grace Place. The utility bills and the heating bills and just the physical part of the building, and that's what the funds are going to be used to support.
And can you go into a little bit with the walk itself, where they'll be going?
Well, the 2K route is a simple go out and walk to Simpson Street and down Southern and come on back. But the 5K route is a little bit more arduous, as you want to say, because typically it has, we go past Grace Place, which is our rest stop. And at Grace Place we have Bay Village Coffee and Eat Local Pizza sponsoring us there with food and drink. And then after that, we walk down to the south core of Thunder Bay, past City Hall, down back here to Vickers and back to the site.
And this event brings in, I guess, hundreds of people every year. What draws people to this?
I think the idea is that what draws people to this is just that the fact that they're supporting Grace Place, and they can support the good work that's happening down, our Out of Coal program, our community feeding program, and those sorts of things. And people just like to get behind causes, and Thunder Bay has a giant heart.
Thanks for joining us for today's edition of Word for Word. We'll be back again tomorrow with more interviews from across the Northwest.